Good morning everyone and welcome to today's video. So today's video is another vacation video and we are going back to January 3rd. Now January 3rd for us was a no parks day. It was a Disney fun day and it all started with breakfast. So let's head back to the food court at All Star Movies with some breakfast. So January 3rd was our first official full resort day at Disney. As you know, our original reservation wasn't due to start until the 4th. But the day prior, which was 2nd, we busted out of Universal and headed over to Disney. So January 3rd was our first official full morning at Disney. So we started out with breakfast in the food court. I had a bagel and cream cheese. Now, if you know me, I love me some toasted bagels and cream cheese. Sam had the bounty platter, and I also got some breakfast potatoes. It was kind of a breakfast platter, and it had the potatoes and sausage and bacon. The potatoes weren't great. They weren't really seasoned like they normally are, and Sam and I's only guess for this is that it was due to supply issues. But he said the rest of everything was really good. So after breakfast, we filled up our Disney Resort mugs and we headed off to Disney Springs. So we wandered around Disney Springs again. We took pictures. We went in shops. I purchased an art piece, which I actually have right here. Get it and show it to you. It is a picture of the Haunted Mansion. I absolutely adore it. I need to get a frame for it. And what I love about Disney art is that it's super affordable. I paid $30 for this, and it comes matted, and it comes with a little blurb about the artist and what it is called. And so this is called Vacation Memories by Larry Dotson. And it is the Haunted Mansion. You guys know the Haunted Mansion is one of my all-time favorite attractions at Walt Disney World. So after we wandered around, we were starting to get hungry. It was starting to get about lunchtime, and we were trying to decide what we wanted to do for lunch. And Sam made a comment that, too bad we just can't go to Wilderness Lodge. He really enjoyed Whispering Canyon Cafe last time we were there, and I said, well, let me check the app. The great thing about the My Disney Experience app is that even if you don't have dining reservations for that day, 9 times out of 10, you can get the reservation you want day of. Now, if you're wanting one of those hard to find places, you may still be out of luck, but Whispering Canyon Cafe was open. So we jumped on a bus over to Wilderness Lodge, and we did have a couple stops first. It was a joint bus. That is something that I've noticed a lot about the buses at the deluxe resorts, is that the buses are all combined, which you would think that each of the deluxe resorts would have their own, but they don't. Like at Yacht Club, Beach Club, and Boardwalk share a bus sometimes, or the Grand, Poly, and Contemporary all share a bus. And I'm like, okay. And unlike at the value resorts where they have the switchbacks to line up, it's kind of a free-for-all to get on the bus. And let me tell you, sometimes those people shove with elbows, and it kind of hurts. So we headed off to Wilderness Lodge. We got there a little before our reservation, but we were able to go ahead and get checked in. We did get seated about 15 minutes ahead of our reservation, but we still had about a 30-minute wait. Sam headed off to use the facilities, and I got to relax in front of the beautiful fireplace in the lobby. They do have some rocking chairs, and they had the fireplace going, and it was just beautiful to sit there with my eyes closed and take a few moments to just breathe. And enjoy the ambiance. So when we were seated, we had a fantastic server, and I don't know what his name was, and he was just great though. So we both decided to do the Carnivore, which is one of their all-you-can-eat skillets. And this is what it comes with. And this is directly from the Disney World website. The Carnivore, which is $24 per person. So if you are both eating it, it will be $24 per person, or however many people are in your group. House-made cornbread with honey butter, and oh my gosh, that honey butter was good. Maple chipotle barbecued slow smoked pork ribs, oak smoked beef brisket, barbecued pulled pork, citrus herb chicken, country potatoes, buttered corn, charred carrots, and it was so good. Sam and I both also each had a drink, and Sam had a smoked turkey, and I had the magical beacon, and which was one of the specialty drinks for the 50th anniversary, and it comes with a little glow cube, and it's so awesome. And of course, there's pictures at the end. So once we were done eating lunch, we were getting ready to head out, and there was a photographer at the tree. So something that is really amazing about all the deluxe resorts and their decorations is at different points during the day, they do have PhotoPass photographers there to take your picture with the tree. And I'm like, oh, would you mind using my phone? Our photo package doesn't start until tomorrow. And she goes, girl, I got you. And she had me open the app, go to photos, go to link photos, and scan my barcode. And she goes, and when you go to activate your photos at the end, it'll be activated along with the rest of your photos. Excuse me, what? Now, Sam and I had went to the Grand Floridian and Wilderness Lodge on our Disney Springs day before we headed out to give kids the world Night of a Million Lights. Neither of the photographers told us that then. And I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I will be passing this information along. So now you guys know where to find it. And it will also be in a travel tip video coming up. It's exactly how to do it. So once we got our pictures taken, we opted to ride on the boat system. Now, if you didn't know, you can take a bus or a boat to Magic Kingdom from Wilderness Lodge. So when we got on the boat, the open area was already full because we were like almost having to sprint to get on the boat. They did wait for us. And so we settled down inside and rode. It's about a 12-minute boat ride from Wilderness Lodge to dock at Magic Kingdom, and everyone got off out of the front. So Sam and I slipped outside, and we sat and rode around on the boat for probably a good another half hour, 45 minutes. It's just, if you are looking for something to do on a day that you're not in the parks and you want something just utterly relaxing, I highly recommend going to one of the deluxe resorts, whether it's Wilderness Lodge, whether it's going over to Yacht or Beach Club, and riding around on the boat system. You can go to Magic Kingdom to get to the boats. You can go to Hollywood Studios to get to the boats. You could go to one of those deluxe resorts that are on the boats to ride them. And I just recommend riding around on them for half an hour, 45 minutes. Heck, on our very first trip in 2014, on our off day, we wanted to ride the friendship boats. And so I ended up falling asleep for like an hour on the friendship boats. The guys didn't care. They're like, hey, she's getting a good nap. We should do that. So it's just a wonderful way to kick back and relax. And when we were at Wilderness Lodge, right before we went to get on the boats, we filled up our mugs at the Roaring Forks, which is Whispering Canyon's quick service. So that is something if you didn't know, if you purchase the refillable mugs that are good at the resorts, they're good at all of the resorts. And you can refill them as many times as you want. So once we got tired of riding around on the boats, which Sam was like, okay, I'm ready to do something else now. We jumped off of the boat system and jumped on the monorail. We went around and we went to the Grand Floridian. We stopped into Basin, where we were able to share some knowledge about the doing free hand scrubs with a parent with a dad with like 4 little girls. And like, we want to go in, Daddy. And he's like, there's nothing in there for you. I go, well, didn't you know you can do like a hand scrub for free when you go in there? And he goes, all right, we're going in. So, I hope that Dad got a few minutes of reprieve, from being asked 50,000 times, and I hope he didn't get asked another 75,000 for something at a Baseline. So while we were there, we did see them in the gingerbread house in the deconstruction phase. And something, if you didn't know, Disney doesn't just throw away the gingerbread. You give it to the bees that are on property and make for them to utilize to make honey. Things you may have not known. So after we left the Grand Floridian, we headed back to the bus to go back to All-Star Movies. We grabbed some dinner, we hung out by the pool, and then we headed to our room to relax, watch some TV, and head for bed. It was a fantastic day, and so I hope you enjoyed this little narrative about our day on January 3rd. Get ready for a photo montage.